What's going on? My name's Seth, this is Chevy, and this is our review for Season 1 of Demon Slayer. Now, before we jump into the review, I want to let you guys know that we originally planned on doing episode reviews of Demon Slayer. We stopped at episode 16 because randomly YouTube had nuked our channel completely without any info on that. I still don't have info on that. I was able to appeal it and get the channel back, luckily, but or thankfully. But in that time, we had moved on with the series, assuming the channel was dead, and planned on doing a season review, which we are doing now. But if you are somebody who has been watching our episode reviews, I apologize. We stopped at 16. If anybody really wanted us to do that again, though, let us know. I'd be open to doing it again. But we figured at this point it'd be best if we just watch the whole season and talk about the season. And yeah, so we watched Season 1 of Demon Slayer. In case you don't know, this is my first time watching through it. This was not your first time watching through it. You've seen it before. And so we will both be reviewing it from those lenses. Kind of a quick recap of the whole season. It's going to be hard because there's a lot of details here. But this season, from my perspective as somebody first time watching it, essentially is an introduction to a lot of characters in the world of Demon Slayer, which from my perspective is a world full of humans and demons. And the demons hunt and kill people. They have a hierarchy, and there is a Demon Slayer Corp that is essentially sworn to eliminate them and stop them from doing that. And they seem to do it and not do it sometimes, depending on how powerful the demons are. We are introduced to a character, Tanjiro, who has a strong sense of smell and a really strong back carrying things. And he sadly has his family murdered by a demon. And his sister becomes a demon as well through certain circumstances. It is found out that she is able to control her, I guess, bloodlust, and is kept alive because of that, although she has a thing in her mouth to make sure she doesn't do anything. Later it's kind of established that she's pretty good at controlling those temptations. After running into a demon slayer that allows him and his sister to leave together, he is met by a guy named Mr. Urokodaki, who trains him early on and then inevitably sends him to the final selection, which is a training situation where they essentially weed out the weak from the strong and who can move on to become lower rank Demon Slayer. Tanjiro and 4 other people make it through the final selection. Tanjiro having fought a very gross big demon guy who had history with Mr. Urokodaki, killing a lot of his prior students, Tanjiro being the one that made it through. Through a lot of character development and connections with Mr. Urokodaki, Nezuko, and Tanjiro. Eventually, Tanjiro is sent on to missions via bird, in which he has to hunt down demons. We have a couple different episodes and situations where he has to fight certain demons, and inevitably running into a new character, which is Zenitsu, who is a very interesting character who is emotionally unstable. And yeah, they also continue going on the demon missions, taking out demons, and eventually running into another character, Inosuke, who is a boar-headed, wearing, pretty-faced dude who is all about the action and wants to get in there and improve himself and be strong and be better than everybody else. And yeah, these 3 get together and defeat a demon in a fucking demon house, which was an interesting arc. And then yeah, they go back to I forgot what the location was, but it was with the old lady.
This is like a safe house.
A safe house, yeah. They kind of recoup there, but then they are sent onto a new mission where they encounter the most powerful demon they fought so far. A whole family of them, but the main one is of the lower ranks, number 5
Of the 12,
Yeah. And so they're met with the biggest challenge that they've had so far. Everybody comes out of it pretty fucked up. And they have to recoup from that. And in that, we are introduced to higher rank demon slayers. And we, from my perspective, have not learned a whole lot about them outside of maybe one or two of the characters. I'm sure there's more to learn from that. And then after the big arc of this season, in my opinion, of fighting the spider demon and some really amazing animation in the final parts of that. Pretty much the series takes kind of a relaxing approach, a really just kind of a living in fun 3 episodes that kind of end the season in a way that shows character development, training, recuperation from all the combat they were in before, but also leading into where I assume season 2 is going, the Mugen Train, yes. And a new demon that has been supercharged and is motivated by proving themselves to Kibutsuji. And yeah, I am very interested what happens on that train. So yeah, plenty have happened. I skipped a lot of it because we'd be here all day if I went through every single episode. But yeah, Tanjiro and crew are training, being challenged in combat, recuperating, and they are finally ready to get back to it stronger than ever before. Yeah. So general impressions, I'll go first because this is my first time watching it. There's a lot to like with this show. If I had any complaint about it at all, and it's not even a strong one, it's the first season of an anime. It's just introducing characters, and even though there are some stakes, there's no strong stakes, and I don't expect anything to be too crucial in that sense because it is a more serialized show. But I never felt like, oh fuck, is this person gonna die? Even though I was surprised a couple times the way certain people died. There's no heavy stakes so far. It's only the first season, so I didn't expect that. But so I don't feel emotionally attached in that sense. But the things I do like about the show, first off, I like the art style. They do a really cool thing where there's a lot of more thick lining to the characters and environments. So the art style is really cool. Also, I mentioned this in one of our reviews, or maybe when we were watching episodes, but I really like how scenic the show is.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of really cool background visuals that they'll set in for a second to kind of like let you feel the environment, and I really appreciate that.
Moments to breathe, yeah.
Exactly, which is something I appreciate in cinema as well. So it's cool that they do that in the show. The story so far is good. I like it, but it does feel like the beginning because it is. So I'm excited to see where it goes. But the story arcs have been fun for the most part. Every part has felt like, like a little... like a little arc of like 3 episodes, the mystery, the beginning, what's going on, this is the demon, this is what the demon does. And they've been really good with the imagination of the demons, giving new challenges to the characters. I also love that it's mostly sword combat, even though there's been plenty of hand-to-hand combat in the show too, which I definitely appreciate. But as a dude who likes, Japanese stuff, but like samurai, ninja stuff, katanas, it's really cool to see how they handle that with the amazing animation I'll get into in a sec. So yeah, I really like the theming. I like the visual style. The characters are really good. I really like them. They are all archetypical, but in ways that feel fresh. Tanjiro is a super endearing character. He's liked by everyone. I feel like the show should be called fucking Everybody Loves Tanjiro, because he just talks to everybody. Everybody's like, whoa, this guy's really nice. He does have like the underdog, go-getter, never give up character to him, the motivation,
Yeah.
but it works. He's a really good character. Nezuko is also a great counterbalance to his character. The motivations are pure. The characters are characters you really care about, and you care about their connection. They constantly repeat through the show, or at least in season 1, that they're not going to leave each other and stuff, and you don't want them to. So it works. Even side characters like Mr. Urokodaki, I thought was a good character. In the short time we spent with him, I got a lot from it, so they did a really good job with that. Inosuke, of course, is awesome. I kind of expected to like him. I had seen him before, like the character model of him, but the character model like it's a video game. Just the way he looked, but the attitude, the character matches the visual style. With the surprise that he is like a pretty boy, which I thought was really funny.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, though, one of my favorite characters, I like them all, but I really like Zenitsu a lot. I think he's a really ridiculous character. I think the humor in the show is really good. They're really good about balancing serious stuff with comedy. I think any good anime should be able to do that. They do it effortlessly, but his character is funny in the most pathetic way possible, and it's really refreshing because I can't think of a whole lot of shows, animes, movies that play with that kind of humor the way this show does. And I think his character has been a lot of fun because of just how off the wall he is, how emotionally charged he is, but then also that he can also fight, which is weird. So kind of like you want him to kick ass. Whereas like, with Inosuke, you assume he's going to kick ass.
Yeah.
So that's been really fun. But yeah, characters are great. I really enjoy the characters. I already kind of mentioned the demons, but the imagination on the demons is cool. I'm really excited to see what they do with the ones later on. Kibutsuji as a villain hasn't done a whole lot for me. I haven't got to know him too much. I just know that he's like the main demon who's starting, all the demons. He's got the blood that can create demons, and in the last episode we saw can supercharge demons, or maybe just kill them. He's kind of let that happen and saw what happened. But outside of that, I don't know a lot about his motivations, and I'm sure we'll learn more about that later. But as a villain, I'm not like, ooh, I fucking hate or love to hate this guy. He's just serviceable at this point, but I'm sure maybe in season 2 we'll get more from him. I do like how they humanize the demons, though. This is a constant in the show that I thought was really good, because it is just easy to go, oh, that thing's ugly, it's gross, it kills people, it's got all these crazy powers and shit.
Yeah.
But then they always kind of give you a glimpse into who they were before and how their possibly life trauma affected their almost demon abilities. There's like this connection between the two things, which I think is really creative. And even though after killing all these people as a demon, you're like, yeah, it makes sense, kill the demon, they're evil or whatever. I do think it adds 3 dimensions to the characters when you do show that, yeah, these were humans though before they were demons. So it's a cool contrast that is constant in it. Yeah, and then the big thing with the show that I've been really impressed with is the animation. It's really good. It goes from better than average of what I expect of anime to near movie level, if not movie level. I think the last episode had some really impressive animation going on. And then there's been fight scenes where I was just completely blown away. The choreography was really good, but also just the animation was really creative, and it's like they thought of something and they were able to do it. So that's also very impressive. There's a bunch of people out there who do really good animation, but from what I've seen, these guys definitely have. They're just bringing movie level animation to a show, and it's really impressive. This is stuff I would expect if I watched a huge, anime movie. So that's been very cool, and you can just kind of guarantee that if there's an arc happening and there's a finale coming, you're gonna get some really good animation. It's coming. They do save, I'm assuming, the budget for these big moments, and the show doesn't suffer when they don't do this either, because the animation's always good. It's always a little better than what I expect a standard anime to be, but they really do go above and beyond when it comes to the animation. I've been wowed like multiple times during the show. I'm not just saying that because you've said that you like the animation too. Like it's just legit really fucking good.
Yeah, it's kind of what they're known for. So
Yeah, if you haven't seen this show, and you really enjoy animation in general, I'm not gonna say an anime alone, but in general, if you're a fan of animation, this is really impressive. So definitely check it out. I really want to see the movie just because I assume the whole thing's gonna be really well done. It's gonna have that movie budget. Yeah, so pretty much like everything about it. But the most important thing for me is characters. I think they nailed them. I like every single character so far. Even some of the characters that I thought were kind of iffy at first or kind of gimmicky have panned out to be a little more interesting to me than they were originally. The only one I'm a little mixed on still because he's kind of more of a stoic samurai type dude is what is his name? Tommy.
oh, I don't remember his name, but he's the initial person who basically puts Tanjiro on his quest.
Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah. What he does is cool. I enjoy the character, but I don't have much from him as a character. I'm assuming that will come out later.
Oh, I assume so too.
Yeah. But as of right now, he is just kind of like the quiet, cool, fucking, oh, I don't express myself much character.
Well, and he was also called out for not being liked. And
exactly.
Probably because he has a cold personality.
Which was fun because, yeah, you look at the character and then they're kind of poking fun at that archetype. So I enjoyed that. And yeah, overall, season 1 was really good. I was never bored. I was definitely enjoying myself. We've been watching like 3 to 4 episodes a sitting, and most time I just quit watching because I'm tired. It's like 4 a.m. and I'm like, I gotta go to bed at some point. But this is a show I could easily sit down and just keep watching. In fact, I want to see what happens next. So there's a good chance we'll be continuing Demon Slayer, although we are going to discuss if we want to continue season 2 or watch a new anime, and at the very least watch some anime movies as well. So, but that is neither here nor there. But yeah, I want to see where it goes. I really enjoyed it, and it was nice watching a more modern anime and digging it. So yeah. Want to jump into your impressions of season 1?
Yeah, so this is my second time watching it, and I'm happy to say it was equally enjoyable to rewatch. So
I feel like I can rewatch this.
Yeah, it's really well done. I think you've nailed a lot of things that I think make the show special, which is characters that are archetypical but still offer uniqueness to them, fleshing out characters that just are gone in 1 to 2 episodes even, so you get a chance to know something about them.
That is an impressive thing about the show is they handle brief moments very well. Like I was surprised how an episode or 2 a whole thing happens, and I'm just like, yeah, I feel satisfied with that. They did a good job with that.
Yeah, they give you just enough to get to know like the type of person that individual might be. That includes the demons, where they as they see their life flash before their eyes, remember their humanity for a moment, which is kind of a key factor with Nezuko, is that for some reason she remembers that while being a demon, which is what makes her special, at least in this season. So yeah, other than that, I think they do a good job of like building up, just doing the beginning stuff, world building, getting to know what the Demon Slayer Corps is, how the demons effectively came to be, a moment where presumably the main character and the main villain get to meet each other, and
which I thought was kind of crazy to do that so early on.
Yeah, and then showing just how outclassed our protagonist is. The side characters are a lot of fun, even small ones like towards the end of the series where we have all the medical staff, I'll just call them for now. Each and every one of them have their own little personalities too, and it makes them fun. And you get to know them too, and they're just kind of like side characters, so they do a really good job with that.
And on that note too, with those characters, it just reminds me the show does a really good job, and a lot of shows in anime do this, but I think they do a good job in it of building drama arcs, having finales, and then having downtime to chill and enjoy the characters, and then building up another arc, having some kind of big finale, and then more chill downtime where we get to have some humor, get some character development. And then, of course, there's character development during these more like drama building parts of the show, but it's self-aware of how to give you a lot of variety with the episodes and what's going on.
Yeah, it handles it very well in a very short amount of time. The only other example I can think of off the top of my head that does something similar, but not in that kind of time frame, is One Piece. One Piece is really good about like big drama moments that last months,
Yeah,
and then months of downtime. So
yeah, and that as somebody who has not been watching a whole lot of more modern anime, but has watched plenty of anime in the past, at the very least, this show feels like it is a modern product of past animes that's learned the lessons of older animes. It's been really interesting as somebody who's kind of skipped, a certain generation of animes because I always think back to like Dragon Ball Z being like this serialized, Dragon Ball and GT and all that stuff, being these like huge arcs with a lot of filler, a lot of time wasted, and then like when you get these more downtime chill moments, they last a long time. They're like a whole fucking like couple episodes or whatever, last for a long time. And then like one fight can last like so many episodes, just building up dialogue and moves and analysis of what just happened and stuff. And this does not have any of that fat. It's just really interesting from that perspective to see that.
yeah, I mean that kind of era of anime is pretty much over, which is
Well, even like One
refreshing.
Piece though, started a long time ago. It's still going on. I'm sure it's learned some lessons, but it still sounds like it kind of follows that kind of formula.
Oh, well, yeah, it's a product of that era.
Yeah, exactly.
So, it's one of like the few that are kind of like that. But not to get too much on eras of anime, but to talk about Demon Slayer and modern anime in general, they've done a really good job of sticking to a plan of knocking out a season and then taking the time they need before they make the next arc instead of just go. And I, as a whole, prefer that. So yeah, let's see. Outside of that, I think besides characters and animation and art style and all that stuff, I do also really like the demons themselves. They are you expect them to be a typical bad guy, but the show like kind of like teeters every once in a while on being like on the gross side sometimes with the demons. And just enough to keep it kind of in the age bracket it's supposed to be. And I honestly think it kind of pushes over a little bit sometimes, but
if they dealt with the more gory stuff more often, I could see that.
Yeah.
But sometimes I forget I'm watching an anime that will show stuff like that, and then when it shows, I'm like, oh yeah,
like the girl with the balls.
yeah.
Her end was very disturbing.
Her end was disturbing. Kibutsuji injecting that girl in the alleyway was really gross. I think the last episode where he was just murdering off the lower six wasn't necessarily gross to me, but it was a lot of blood. It was super gory. Like there's blood everywhere, it's dripping everywhere. They really wanted to showcase that this was just this process of murdering people. And then the different processes of people, how they're handling it mentally when they know they're going to die. And then, you have other scenes in the show where everybody's like chilling and having a good time and laughing and stuff, and everything's a good time. And there's little girls being cheerleaders and stuff. And then that shit's happening too. And sometimes I forget that's even in the show. So it does walk an interesting line
for sure
in that sense.
And I think they do it really well. And then outside of that,
it just feels more impactful when you see it because they're not doing it the whole time. It's not just like a gory anime.
Well,
but when the shit happens, you're like, ew.
Yeah, you'd get used to it if it happened all the time.
Yeah.
So, and then the one thing I remember when I originally watched this, and obviously knowing more now, it didn't affect me on this watch. But when they first introduced the Demon Slayer Corps and the very colorful arrangement of Demon Slayers that are there, they're introduced in a very, very anime archetype type of way.
It was tonally fucking so different than the rest of the show.
However, that is definitely intentional to make you get like just a very basic first impression of them. And then as we saw with the butterfly gal, when she finally sat down and started talking, her personality made way more sense.
Yeah.
And that does continue. That's all I will say in that regard. So those characters get fleshed out way better and become, so far from what I've seen, all of them have been enjoyable. So, but I will keep that vague.
Yeah.
So,
I like the energy of the dude I've seen before.
Rengoku.
Yeah. But this season I didn't get much from him outside of that he's like very loud and proud character.
yes.
But we did see in the teaser and at the very end of the last episode that he's also on the Mugen train.
Yes.
So I'm assuming I'm going to get more from him here. So I am stoked with that. I am curious about a lot of the other upper Demon Slayers, though, because like there are some very cartoony characters in there that other characters in the show haven't been like. So I'm curious how they will unravel, or if they will be cannon fodder in the second season or third season. Maybe these are disposable characters. I don't know, but obviously the ones they're really setting in on, like what's his name, Tomioka. I feel like that's his name. The samurai guy, and then the butterfly girl, and then the Rengoku guy. These guys seem a little more solidified. Maybe the other characters will be as well. I don't know, but as of right now, they feel kind of like they were like almost quick personalities. So I'll find out.
And again, I feel like they do that intentionally because they
Yeah.
want you to not know anything about them,
Yeah.
but get a quick like
They
personality.
did the same thing
taste.
with the butterfly chick. At first, I'm like, that chick's a psychopath, because the way she handled one of the demons, I was like, she like fucking loves this shit. But then, going into details on the character, she's angry, and she probably uses that anger as a way to justify almost an ideological view of demons are evil, they must die. And if she is angry, she's going to enjoy killing the people that she thinks has wronged her. So they did flesh that out a bit, because at first I'm like, what the fuck? Is she crazy? Like, what's going on here?
I promise, at least next season we will discover two more. I will just say that much, and they get fleshed out very well.
Gotcha.
So yeah, and one of them you barely saw, so I'll give you that too.
Yeah. I mean, there's like some like chick who's enthusiastic about everybody, and some guy who's like overly dramatic, and some snake dude, and then an angry guy. So it'll be interesting. Flamboyant guy. I forgot about him. And then we saw that one of the guys from the final selection, who's a douchebag, is alive and has gotten bigger.
Yeah, that was a very brief moment. I don't know if that gets touched.
I'm wondering if that will carry on into something or not. We'll find out.
Yeah.
But I completely forgot about him, and then they showed him. I was like, "Are we gonna elaborate on this guy, or what's going on with that?" But time will tell on that
for sure. Yeah. But yeah, overall it was a treat. I was looking forward to the show, even just for context for you guys. I'm not a manga reader. I wasn't like in the know that this story was going to be this way. But I did see UFO Table doing the show, and I was like, well, I'm watching that, because after watching Fate, I just was like, yeah, I have to watch more of that animation style. So, and totally worth it. So
it's crazy too, because like Fate has a completely different visual style to it, but it's animated really well. At least the fight scenes. I've never watched Fate, but I remember a long time ago I watched a fight scene on YouTube from Fate, and I was very impressed by it. So, not a big surprise to see that's in this as well. So it's just interesting how different the styles are, but it just shows how good these guys are at taking on different challenges, because this came from a manga.
Yes.
So that it makes sense they got to take that style from the manga. But whoever wrote the manga and drew it probably appreciates that somebody like them is able to bring it to life, because they're getting some of the best animation I've seen in anime. So It's very cool.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, the original creator, upon the anime coming out and being the way it is, apparently was moved to tears with how good it was. So.
Oh, it'd be cool to like write a story on paper and have it drawn out on paper, and then seeing it brought to life in animation, especially that good of animation. I mean, I'm assuming it wasn't color in the manga, so to have it in color, all that stuff, it would be fucking dope. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, I could believe that. Also, something I mentioned this to you off camera, but every time I see UFO table, I always think it says Ufotable for a second, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's UFO table. So I just think it's an interesting name.
It's not the first time I've heard that.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so I take it you liked season 1.
oh, I love it.
Without telling me anything about season 2, and I know you're not gonna. What season do you like better? Does it get
2.
better?
I love 2.
Okay,
It's
cool.
amazing.
That's what I need to hear, because I really liked season 1. So I just know that season 1 is supposed to be an introduction, but also feels like an
It
introduction.
is
So
100% an introduction.
so now that I feel like that is done, and we will get introduced to new characters, I feel like we can get deeper into the stakes of the characters and building arcs, as opposed to finding out more about why these characters are the way they are, which I'm sure we'll find more out too. But we got the wheels moving.
I was it feels weird to say this. I was audibly excited watching it by myself. So
That's good to hear.
yeah, season 2 is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm stoked to watch it. And from what I hear, it's 2 arcs.
Yes.
And I was very confused finding out that they had made a movie of one of the arcs, and then they made the show after the season after. And I've decided, so we're gonna do it. We're gonna watch the season and then watch the movie, because I want to see what the movie's like. And you haven't seen the movie, so it'll be fun to review the movie as opposed to the season. So. But yeah, so we both liked season 1. Do you have more to say on it? No?
Not really.
Okay. I mean, over on TLG, we do recommendations. I feel like it'd be kind of fun to do that with anime. So, but it sucks because I'm just like, I feel like if you haven't seen this and you like anime, you should watch it. So it's an everybody for me.
I think with the exception of if you're just not old enough to see the content in it,
Yeah.
it is. There's no way.
It's an age-appropriate everybody.
Believing that anyone who watched the anime hasn't seen it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Anybody who's current in anime has probably watched it.
I would actually say, I think this is a good way to word this. If you are not into anime because of the nature of anime, for example, I do think you should still give this one a shot, because it is, though tropey in ways, it is unique, and it is a beautiful watch visually. And yeah, I don't know. It's worth giving a shot. I think it's a good introduction anime for people.
Sure. I will say, yeah, if you're not into anime and you want to check out what like a modern anime is like, and it's been out for a little bit, but like it's modern compared to like all the other famous anime.
Oh, for sure.
It is a great introduction anime. This will probably get you into anime if you haven't really been into it. So, I mean, Josh has watched a couple different animes, but he's not huge on anime, and he watched Demon Slayer and liked it.
Yeah, he hits me up when he's watching it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, definitely I would recommend it to age appropriate everybody. Unless, you got kids. Those are your kids. Let them watch whatever you think is
Right.
good for them.
I'm not going to say you should have them watch it, though.
Sure, yeah. But I mean, when we were kids,
No,
mom,
for sure, for
mom
sure.
let us watch pretty much everything. So
Yeah, agreed.
I get where some people could be coming from. Okay, so let's grade it.
Sure.
I'm gonna have you go first. What would you grade season 1? And it's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be difficult for you, maybe because you're gonna have a bias because you've seen more than I have. But if you keep it to season 1, what would you grade season 1?
I do think season 1 has some, though minor, flaws to it. It is overall entertaining from beginning to end. So I would give it an A-.
All right. Well, this happens on TLG all the time. If you don't know what that is, that's our gaming podcast. Go check it out. It's linked down below. I'm also going to give it A-. I really, my only complaint that I could come up with is that I didn't feel strong emotional stakes because we're not far enough into the show yet. for really me to be worried about if Tanjiro or somebody, main character is going to die or something like that. It doesn't have to have that, but that would maybe push a little further. But outside of that, it's very impressive in the animation department. I'd give it an A+ for that. But characters are endearing and likable, and I really enjoy their dynamic, especially Inosuke, Tanjiro, and Zenitsu together. I think they're a really fun group. Nezuko hasn't really joined that too much, but when she has interacted, it's been fun. And yeah, the story's been good. It's been solid. I was never bored. I never watched an episode where I was like, man, what fucking time is it?
No, they usually fly by.
They go really quick, and I'm always ready to watch the next episode unless it's just too late to continue watching it. That's mostly because I don't like to watch things. I'm getting tired because I don't take it in as well. And yeah, it's a cool story arc. It's got a lot of fun. It's got a lot of variety. It does show me that not show me, but it gives me a good expectation of what to expect from season 2 at the very least. And you're saying it's even better, so that's exciting to hear. It's got great imagination, great combat. I mean, I like me some combat in anything, but then great humor, all that stuff. So yeah, as of right now, first season of Demon Slayer, not all of Demon Slayer, A-, easy A-. I couldn't give it below an A grade, so it just exceeds a lot of my expectations. So it's a lot of fun watching these episodes, and when we decide, and we'll do that very soon, when we decide when we're continuing season 2 or watching the first season of another anime or movie, we'll let you guys know what the plan is with that. We'll probably do a season review as well, so we'll just go through it as quick as we can. But yeah, Demon Slayer season 1 is in the books, and I'm definitely a fan of Demon Slayer at this point. I know you are as well. You have been. And yeah, let us know in the comments, though, what you guys think of season 1 of Demon Slayer. Please, no spoilers for season 2. I would like to go into it as blind as possible, but I've seen the whole first season Demon Slayer, so fucking spoil away as long as you put a spoiler alert. Anybody watching this episode probably shouldn't have watched it because we just spoiled a lot of shit, but
I'll say it's a review.
Yeah, but let us know. Yeah, full spoiler review. Let us know everything you're thinking about when it comes to Demon Slayer season 1. Your thoughts. What do you like? What don't you like? Anything you would have liked more from it? Did it exceed your expectations? What do you think of the animation? Are you a fan of UFO Table in general? Is this your first anime or one of the first animes you watched? Let us know everything you're thinking about in the comments below. And yeah, we'll let you know what's going on next when it comes to anime on this channel soon. But until then, I've been Seth, this has been Chevy, and we will see you guys later.